Welcome to Real Life with Chrissy. I am so glad you tuned in and so appreciate you taking the time to connect with both yourself, me, and the divine. If you've been listening to the last 3 short and sweet mini episodes, you know that I got to answer some of your questions. If you have a question, ask, and I will definitely take some time in the future to do more short and sweet mini episodes where I answer your questions. Now, to the questions that I answered in the last 3 episodes, I do want to go back and give you a little bit more tidbits, especially on the episode about my relationship with spirit. There was one part that I mentioned that indeed all of us are capable of having these gifts. And then I go on saying, I am just more in tuned and can go deeper and quicker. I forgot to also mention yet or so far. Again, every single person being on this planet has the capability to grow with spirit and have that deep connection. So this is your invitation to do just that. And many, many souls on this earth do indeed have that deep connection. They are my mentors. And I hope to keep growing with them. And I hope that this show, this podcast, does the same for you. So I'm so excited to be back with a full episode. I've missed you and I'm excited to dive back in. If you're new to the show is all about real life shit. I open up my personal life like a good book with raw, emotional struggles, solutions, and achievements that surely you can relate to. Today's episode is all about staying strong and resilient during chaotic times. This is something I know we can all relate to, especially since 2020, when our world seemed to be crumbling all around us, shaking us to our core. We now understand the importance of resilience and staying centered in your own hemisphere. I believe that COVID in the year 2020 and beyond has been a deep lesson for all of us on many levels. One that I would like to focus on today is staying centered while the world is shaking around us. This vision started to come to me as a recent mantra in the last couple of months or so. This mantra started from the idea of me desperately trying to stay strong, grounded, and centered during an insane metaphoric earthquake. I imagine that the seed of this mantra was planted during the beginning days of COVID, and now it's sprouting. And all of us have been tested on our resilience time and time again throughout our life, but definitely even more so now after 2020. Even in the recent eclipse in October, I noticed chaos everywhere I looked, with the wars that are still going on and with the inhumane treatment of our fellow humans. That's more than enough to shake us all to the core. In addition to the very obvious problematic trauma that we are all witnessing today through social media and other media outlets, as if that's not already enough, energy is moving in such a way that even on a deep personal level, with my very close friends and family, our own personal worlds are being shaken to its core again. Just in my own little world of close family and friends, man, there's been numerous hospital visits, stage 4 cancer battles, major health issues with loved ones. I'm going to be real, fear and scare of infidelity. Worst of all, I'm even catching wind of possible child abuse. Most of these situations are occurring outside of me, but still within my very close circle. So what is that? How do we deal with that when we are shaken or when it seems like the world is crumbling around us and the world is shaken to its core? It brings us back to our own trauma. The reason why we get so triggered and upset and affected by the situations that are occurring around us, besides the obvious reasons, is because we, as humans, all of us, have a level of empathy for those around us. And it also brings us back to our own fear in a lot of ways. Sometimes it's needed, and other times we actually need to understand and differentiate what's theirs and what's mine. And that goes back to episode number 6, titled Trash and Treasure, What's Yours, What's Mine. If you haven't listened, you got to go back and listen to the very, very important and informative episode. Okay, back to now. Back to the fear-driven, shaking situations around us that are occurring, maybe now in your life too. As a mom, I personally get very triggered when I hear any child being sick or hurt or mistreated in any way. And when it's close to me, within my family or my circle of friends, then it's on a whole different level. We can avoid the news, but we obviously cannot avoid the trauma that's happening within our own inner circle. The reason why I have personally let myself crumble within these earthquake-like moments in life is, again, because of fear, a selfish fear of, what if this happens to me or my own child? And then, of course, when it happens to someone we actually know and love, with any situation, sickness, betrayal in relationships, financial struggle, or any type of trauma that's within our close circle of family and or friends, that, of course, is going to affect us on a whole new level because we know that person. We love that person. So how do we stay strong and centered for ourselves and, of course, our loved ones when it seems like they are crumbling? Well, just like in a partnership, it's easy to mirror the other person as they start breaking down and crumbling and losing their shit. And on a certain level, it is therapeutical for both parties because you are giving the person permission to break down their walls, to be vulnerable, which is a very necessary step in the overall healing process. As you are breaking down with the other person, you can think of this process as pruning a rose bush. Sometimes we do need to cut off the dead branches, and an even more difficult task when we prune what looks like healthy, perfectly formed, beautiful roses. When we cut those off, that is the most painful. When everything seems right, and now it feels like we're broken down, almost to the roots. We need to shed some tears and open up in order for another bloom. During the time of pruning, it may seem scary and almost impossible to imagine another bloom of roses because we are cutting down so close to the root. But that's the key word, root. We are getting close to the roots. And notice the roots are still there. Strong, sturdy, healthy, and grounded. But now, with all the branches and roses out of the way, you are able to get to the root more easily. You can think of the roots as both your upbringing and your connection with Mother Earth and the divine. It is true, you will expose a lot more this way. But this is an incredible opportunity for growth, a way to support your loved ones and yourself during these shaky and root exposing times is to first be gentle with each other after the pruning, including yourself, because you indeed are affected. You are human. You have emotions. So let yourself and each other feel the pain. Let yourself and each other process. You may need to sleep a little more, and that's okay. One thing, though, I do highly suggest, and this is of importance, if your tendency is to grab maybe an alcoholic drink to numb those feelings, or maybe it's sex and that's your drink of choice, whatever it is that you tend to gravitate towards for the numbing effect, the numbing feeling, please do yourself the honor of resisting that Band-Aid, because that's what it is. It's a Band-Aid that will fall off and it won't actually heal the wound. Let yourself feel and go through the process without trying to numb yourself. I'd say the most important regimen that I conduct during the shaking times is prayer. I know. A lot of people feel pretty uncomfortable with this idea. And if that's the case, that's okay. Just start with gratitude. Gratitude is actually a form of prayer. Be thankful for what you have and for your loved ones. Pray or just start talking to the universe. Send out some healing light. And that means finding the light in all situations. I think back to a time when my dad was passing away. And during his last moments of life, he would go in and out. And me and my sister, we didn't know if he was going or if this was a time. Is this his last breath? Like, what's going on? And we could sense it was the time, but then he would just like open his eyes and like moan out a word or two, and then we'd be like, oh, and start laughing and be like, oh, you're just messing with us, Dad. Stop messing with us. And we would laugh about it. And I know that sounds insane. Like, it sounds like, what? You're laughing during a time of death? Guess what? A lot of people do that. I know my sister does that quite often during like uncomfortable, scary situations. She tends to giggle. And that's really her way of coping. And it's also a way of finding light in a dark, I guess, what's called a dark time, a shadowy time, a scary time. Let yourself do that. It's okay. I know it's easier to do that after the darkness, to laugh about some of the past. But please let that light out. Speaking of healing light, the next technique I'm about to share is very special. I've actually only shared this with my children and a few people in one of my yoga classes. But at this time, I do feel like this technique is needed within our world. We need to spread the support of light, of the divine, throughout the world. Please note, though, if you are driving, do keep on listening, but when you get home or in a safe place, re-listen to this episode so that you may close your eyes. What I'm about to share with you is a deep practice that I've been doing for several years now. A heads up, it's been said that it will make you feel incredible and peaceful. Then it's going to spread outside of your own body to those that you love and beyond with a beautiful healing light. Let's get started. Okay. Start by getting in a very comfortable position. You may want to lay down or sit up tall and straight under a cushion. Close your eyes and start to breathe, just concentrating on the inhale and exhale. Maybe sigh out anything that is not serving you or anything that is distracting you. Breathe in light exhale whatever is not for you at this time. Gently place your hands on your heart. Start to breathe in the force of love and light from the divine. Feel the breath go in to your lungs and towards your heart. With every inhale, your light is getting bigger. It's okay if it's a little spark to start. Just visualize your light growing brighter and brighter. The light that I envision is a bright yellow with white. Maybe yours is purple, whatever color it is. Let it soothe you and expand with every breath in and now even out. Watch this light expand beyond your lungs, beyond your chest, all the way up to your neck, past your shoulders, down to your arms and limbs and fingertips, even up through your neck and into your head space, shooting out through your crown. As light is expanding out of your crown, know that there's more light coming in. The light is now expanding below your heart space, into your belly, and further down, penetrating throughout your body, into your hips, your thighs, and your legs, your knees, your calves, all the way down to your ankles, heels, and toes. Now the light is expanding even more, reaching out beyond your own body. You now have a beautiful orb of light, almost like a bubble around you. This light is expanding even more so. Now you can think of those who are maybe struggling. Let that light grow all the way to them. Know that this light is healing and protective. Let it warm them. Let the light hold them through their struggle. Know that this is a gift for yourself and them. Now, if you're ready, you can even think of someone that maybe you have some bitter feelings towards. Maybe you want to send some healing light to them. Think of all the close people in your life. Send that healing light to them now. Beautiful. Now beyond. Now see the light grow not only within you, but everyone that you just sent that healing light to. That light is now expanding beyond your inner circle and beyond their inner circle. It's expanding so much so. It's even to people you don't know within the state, within the country, now throughout the world. The whole world is now glowing with this magical, healing, and loving light. Continue to let this light shine. Let it pulsate with every breath in and out. Know that this light is always available to you to heal yourself and others. With a breath in, feed the light even more energy. And with a breath out, send the light out to those you love and more. My friends, it has been an honor to share this technique with you. You beloveds are worthy of light, love, and healing. Namaste. Take your time coming out of this meditation, visualization, and technique. My friends, I hope that this healing light technique has brought as much peace and comfort, resilience, faith, and excitement as it does for me on your healing journey. Please feel free to share this episode and this technique with others during their times of need. Also, don't forget to follow, rate, and review. I want to hear from you. May the light warm you, soothe you, and show you the way. And so it is.